talked about valuations, property types, and then kind of a looking ahead, and then reflected on the past year, 18 months. So I think some of the key takeaways from our discussion were valuations and property types. There's effectively a pretty big disconnect, bifurcation, whatever you want to call it. From a valuations perspective, you see the public REITs down 27% the last year, private markets down roughly 5%. So clearly there's something in the middle, probably, which is more reality of public markets being more emotional, kind of a flight to safety, versus private markets being able to, I guess, slow walk it a little bit with appraisals, things like that. Moving to the property types, there's a big bifurcation between the various property types, between the winners of multifamily and industrial compared to, say, office and retail. But even within there, using retail as an example, is grocery anchored retail is a lot better, has performed a lot better than other types of retail. Same with office. You have life science that does well, but commodity office struggling. So there's a lot of nuances within the property types. And then kind of looking back and looking forward, I think there's been a lot of testing of the real estate's good in an inflationary environment thesis. So we talked about that and the different levers that managers have been able to deploy to keep up with inflation. But there is, I think, kind of proven there's a cap, depending on the property type, obviously. And then what are some other things? I think looking forward to the next year, obviously the capital markets, interest rates is going to be the biggest thing to see what happens with the Fed and interest rates globally. And I think to that end, there's other kind of more fundamentals in the market that are impacting things like demographics when it comes to housing, household formation. Then you look at industrial, it's onshoring and nearshoring. You look at senior housing, things like that, it's an aging demographic. So I think keeping an eye on those kind of longer term fundamental trends coupled with maybe the more near term, what happens with interest rates is going to be, will dictate what happens this year.